It is 6 a.m. and developing right now on Denver7 News.
And we received word from Operation Warp Speed that they've started shipments.
Colorado's first COVID vaccine shipments could arrive at any moment.
There's 24 facilities getting direct shipment of Pfizer vaccine.
And once they arrive, shots will be available almost immediately.
We are not done until every American has access to the vaccine.
We're live on this monumental day with the distribution details to help us rebound.
Plus, all new at 6, TikTok is playing a huge role in spreading facts about the vaccine.
And a horse sanctuary on the brink of closing gets a huge boost to keep serving the community.
To Channel 7 supporters and viewers, you literally saved us.
And once again, your generosity played a huge role in helping Coloradans in need. We're going to have that story coming up. So many good people here in Colorado. Good Monday morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Molly Hendrickson.
And I'm Brian Sanders. Good morning to you once again. Snow still fresh on the ground from over the weekend. We had a pretty good sled day in my neighborhood, and we are planning for another burst of snow tonight. So meteorologist Lisa Hidalgo joins us now with the timing of this latest storm. Lisa.
And it's not going to be heavy, but it is another storm hitting the state. It's already bringing some snow to the western slope. You can see west of the divide. We're starting to pick up a little more, and down across the southwestern corner of the state, there's been some pretty good snow there near Telluride and Durango over the past few days, and more to come. We will see some of that snow develop here late afternoon, early evening. I'll show you the timing of it coming up. It's cold, though, this morning. As you step out the door, you're going to want to wear a jacket, bundle up. We're talking single digits to teens this morning, and it feels like just 2 degrees below in Denver right now. So a cold one. Your emoji cast puts us, it looks like, in the 30s this afternoon, and then we'll get colder from there as that snow develops. And again, we'll talk more about the timing of it later this afternoon and how much we're expecting coming up. But highs today only in the 30s. 30s again tomorrow. It will warm up later in the week. I'll show you when, Jason, here in just a few minutes.
And with those cold temperatures, we had a lot of freezing on the overnight hours. We still have some slick conditions coming off. Even some of the major roads, the side roads, the neighborhood roads are still pretty icy and still pretty snowy. There in Boulder, we have a lot of the bike paths still, especially through the tunnels. It's going to pose some icy conditions for you. Take a look at the drive up to the north side of town, I-25, 84th. You can see the collection of the headlights as the volume starts to pick up there. But I'm not seeing, as you take a look at the travel time, any big delays just yet into downtown Denver. But 270 and I-76, I'm starting to see some of that traffic volume around town. I-70 come this weekend will be closed down between Brighton Boulevard and 270. I'll have more details on that for you coming up in just a bit. And that south side of town, nice and quiet for right now.
Thanks, Jason. Today is the day all of America has been waiting for. Pfizer's COVID vaccine is out for shipment and will arrive in states across the country today. Vaccinations will then start immediately. Denver7's Nicole Brady joins us live this morning. And Nicole, Colorado's shipment is expected to arrive at any moment.
That's right, Molly, and Governor Polis will hold an event at 8 this morning announcing the official arrival of the vaccine in Colorado. It'll arrive at 2 locations, and then at 2 p.m. this afternoon, the first Coloradan will receive the first shot. Now, the locations of where those are happening.
All right, so clearly we're having some technical difficulties. We'll get back to Nicole in just a minute. But Colorado has a 3-phase plan for distributing the vaccine. This winter, phases 1A and 1B will be implemented. They prioritize healthcare workers and people who work at long-term care facilities. First responders are also within these 2 phases. In the spring, high-risk individuals and essential workers will get vaccinated. And then in summer, the rest of the general public will have access.
The FDA's commissioner is pushing for states to administer those doses as soon as possible. He appeared on CNN Sunday.
We've seen the vaccines go out. We've seen the press reports of hospitals waiting to vaccinate healthcare workers and those most vulnerable, according to the recommendations of the ACIP and the CDC. So it would be my greatest hope and desire that occur tomorrow.
FedEx says the Operation Warp Speed team pushed for vaccines to be delivered today instead of Sunday to make sure every site was open and fully staffed.
The head of the FDA is standing by the timeline his agency put together for getting the vaccine approved for use. It comes after President Trump claimed the FDA could have authorized the shot for use a week earlier. Appearing on ABC's This Week, FDA Commissioner Stephen Hahn says his agency promised the American public a thorough review of the application, and that is what they did. Meanwhile, Moderna's vaccine could be right behind Pfizer's. An FDA committee will meet Thursday to discuss recommending emergency use authorization for its version. This comes after the government doubled its order of doses for the product, now asking for 200 million.
We know there's a lot of information floating around out there, and we want you to have answers to all of your questions about the vaccine and the distribution process. So we're holding a town hall tomorrow night at 6:30 here on Denver7. Our anchor, Ann Trujillo, will be joined by Governor Polis and other top health leaders from the state. And you can email any questions you have to 360@thedenverchannel.com.
Today, our country is expected to eclipse yet another sad milestone during the pandemic: 300,000 coronavirus deaths nationwide. Sunday, no additional deaths were confirmed here in Colorado, but our state did report 2,500 new cases. That is still well below what we've seen recently. Just over 1,600 people are in the hospital. 2 weeks ago, that number was near 2,000.
Congress has until this Friday to come to an agreement on a new pandemic relief bill. Talks start today on a $900 billion plan that would be split into two. One covers small business loans, unemployment benefits, and the cost of distributing the vaccine. The other would protect small businesses from lawsuits related to the pandemic.
Today, members of the Electoral College will meet here in Colorado and in every state across the nation to officially certify Joe Biden as the 46th president of the United States. Political reporter Joe St. George explains the process.
In state houses all across the country today, electors to the Electoral College will meet, and if all goes according to plan, will confirm what we already know, that Joe Biden is president-elect of the United States. Usually this political process receives very little media attention, but because President Trump has yet to concede this election, the Electoral College is under more scrutiny this year. Remember, our founding fathers wanted the Electoral College to pick the president and vice president and not the popular vote, and that's what will happen today. This is a map of the 2020 results by state. The states in blue will vote for President-elect Biden. The red states will vote for President Trump. Only Maine and Nebraska will split their votes. If you're wondering who the electors are, they are in most states chosen from the state's political party. Hillary Clinton, for instance, is an elector in New York.
Not a political statement.
Depending on who wins a state dictates which slate of electors gets to vote. The Supreme Court recently said electors can be removed and even fined if they don't vote for who they are supposed to. After today, the process goes to the newly elected Congress, and on January 6th, they will officially certify the Electoral College and their votes. Vice President Mike Pence is required by law to preside over that vote. Again, nothing is expected to change today, but it could force more Republicans, like Senator Mitch McConnell or even President Trump, to say for the first time that Joe Biden is president-elect. I'm Joe St. George reporting.
We are celebrating a Broncos victory today. Good quarterback play from Drew Lock helped lead the Broncos to their win yesterday. They beat the Panthers 32-27 in North Carolina. Lock with 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. It was the most complete game for him and the Broncos this season. He says he's gaining inspiration from the backup quarterback behind him.
It's just, me coming in and doing my job, knowing that, if I just play the game and let it come to me, then those big ones will come. Rip tells it to me every single week. He goes, hey, man, you're a special player, but do your job here in this first couple quarters, maybe even the third quarter. If the big play needs to be there, I think it's just me starting to feel things and seeing it and knowing where to get the ball when it's just not perfect.
So next up for the Broncos is a Saturday game against the Bills. Kickoff is at 2:30 at Empower Field at Mile High.